Alright, so this is a project that's been going on for a long time. It's a 1984 Buick Electra with a LS swap. So anyways, I started it before I started YouTube. I didn't get a lot of footage, but I'll show you some clips now, and yeah, we'll get into this build and I'll show you guys the process and drive it down the road, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Working on this car, working on that car, working on this car, working on that. But today, what we're going to do is the Buick Station Wagon. This is an LS swap that I've been doing for a while now, and I'm finding it's pretty close. Like, I have it all plumbed, battery cable's done, everything's finished really. What I'm doing now is I need to go through all this. So some of these are powers. You have your oil pressure, your coolant temp, starter trigger, and a lot of it is for some stuff that's no longer going to be on the car. And yeah, I'm going to go through that and try to work out what needs to be connected and what doesn't need to be connected. And then after that, I'll be putting, so I have the Phytech Ultimate LS kit, the ECU, that's the handheld, those are the injector looms, I think that's, yeah, automatic transmission loom, your wideband extension cable, and the main loom, which has to be connected. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing that once I finish getting my head around this. I have everything ready to go. Yeah, that's like the starter wire to the starter. I have the fuel pump wire to the back. I got the fuel pump and everything mounted in the back, and did a little job on the fuel tank there. Yeah, so this one's getting close, like it's almost ready to start. I'll put it up and I'll show you guys what I did underneath, and I still need to do the exhaust, but at the moment I'm gonna crank it up open header because the LSs aren't really that loud anyway, and to tell you the truth, I just want to hear it. So yeah, so I guess we'll jump into that now, and hopefully we can get this thing running and working and driving, and yeah, get on to the next project, because it never seems to end. So, God bless America. Alright, well, I just want to show you guys what I did underneath for the cross member. So basically what I did is I cut a notch out of here to put the dual exhaust on this side, and then this side humps already, so I don't need to worry about that. But that's with like 3mm plate. I cut it out. I think it'll be rigid enough. And then I just extended this out to take the transmission mount, so I think that'll be fine too. But yeah, that way I can just do the true dual exhaust. So I'll just show you what I did with the tank here. So basically, I mounted the fuel pump here. I have the Corvette regulator here for the LS, which regulates it, and it's also a filter. And then I cut out the back of the tank, and I made my own little sump pickup for it. You know, it's a carbureted tank, so I had to come up with something, but we have the return going back in, and we have the pipe going to the front, sucking from the tank. Everything's all wired up. So anyways, that's the fuel system. Okay, well, I got a top class electrical finding station set up here. You can see I really, really put it together. Anyways, I found out that so the red wires, those 3 red wires are your main power source to the chassis loom. And then this is one little ground which seems to control the indicators and the headlights and stuff like that. Obviously, I think it's for relays. And then that's pretty much it. Down here I have, that's your oil pressure and your coolant temperature, and then that's for the old alternator igniter. But obviously the the loom from FI Tech is going to control the alternator, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And that's pretty much it. This was for the distributor, to power on the distributor. These are for the vacuum system that was on the car. So anyways, I have pretty much everything worked out. And then, sorry, this one's obviously for the starter. So that goes to the starter. So I have everything worked out. Now I just need to cut it back, make it look nice, run the loom along the wheel arch here, and then connect everything to the battery. I think I'm going to put one main fuse on all this stuff here that goes to the chassis loom. And that's pretty much it. So getting there, but yeah, just like everything, it's a process. Alright, so I got all this worked out. So what I'm going to do next is I think I'm going to start fitting the FI Tech loom. Yeah, I'll get all this out of here and lay it across the engine, start plugging everything in, and then find out, what the lengths need to be for everything connected to here, to connect to the chassis loom, and yeah, get it all connected, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna lay it on there now, and yeah, see what we end up with. Okay, so I have the FI Tech harness pretty much installed. I'll just show you here. So basically, yeah, all the injectors, I have everything routed through the back. I'm going to mount the ECU and the fuse and relay block over there. I have my harness is done here, which goes for all the ignition and stuff, and starter is all connected, all the grounds. So I need to, it's a different plug that goes on the alternator. So this is a 4-pin, and this LS1 alternator has a 2-pin, so I need to swap that out. I need to, yeah, fix up all these wires, all this, most of it, well, except for this, that's for the fuel pump. But I have the oil pressure, which actually the oil pressure switch doesn't work, so I need to order one of those. But I have oil pressure, and then some of it, this is for the wipers, and that's pretty much it. A lot of this I just have to, yeah, blank off. So really it's just mount this, and then I have, I think there's a ground wire somewhere. Yeah, there's a ground wire here. And then basically that is your speedo and AC, which we're not using, and tack and fan and everything. So I need to make a subloom to go over and connect to the battery, and I'm going to wire in a relay for the fan. And that's pretty much it. That's the fuel, that's the ignition and the fuel pump. So that's pretty much it. It cranks over, but again, the oil pressure sensor is not working, so I don't want to keep cranking it because I don't know if it has oil pressure. I used to have a manual gauge, but God knows where it is. And also the dipstick doesn't work on it because the dipstick was for a front oil pan, and now it's a rear oil pan, so it doesn't really seem to work, so I'm going to order one of those. So I need to get an oil pressure switch and a dipstick, and that's pretty much it. And then anyways, need to put the air filter on it. But yeah, it's pretty close. Like, it's just a couple stupid little things. I need to get the plug, I need to get the oil pressure switch, and I need to get the dipstick. And yeah, my frustration is yeah, to the roof with this car. So I think the best thing to do is just walk away and take a break, and I think I'll go on to the next project. And yeah, my life. Okay, well, Long time no see. Yeah, I've been busy. Oh Jesus, I was working on the Buick, and then I got caught up with some parts I had to order for the Buick, doing the LS swap. So then I went on to the 69 Camaro, which then I got the heads and everything taken off that and took that apart. And then the valve spring cups were wrong, so I had to order them. And then I ended up leaving. I ended up leaving to go do a job a bit sooner. I went up to Northern Ireland, and I ended up wiring a GT86 for Kevin Quinn and Bagsy. And I was up there working with Joe and Kevin, and I actually want to just say to Big Kev, Big Kev gave me this trolley, which, thank you, Big Kev. Actually, I love it. I'm gonna use the hell out of this. So I wanted to say thanks to Big Kev at Quinn's, and thank you very much for the cart. So anyways, we'll cut now to show you just an overview of the GTA6 wiring. I didn't really film because, I'll tell you the truth, realistically it's like a 2-week job, and I did it in like 7 days, and I was under pressure. I had to get it done because I had to get back, because it was my birthday and we had a wedding, and I had things to get ready and things to do. So I was doing a 2-week job in 7 days is very difficult, so let alone trying to film it. So I did an overview when I was finished, which we'll cut to now. But anyways, I'm back now. I spent a couple days trying to figure out what to do or whatever. But anyways, the parts for the Camaro are going to be here soon. I got the parts here for the Buick, so I'm just going to try to get this running. So that's it at the moment. A lot of these wires are oil pressure sensor and coolant temperature for the dash, and then I think I went over this before, a lot of them I just have to no longer use. Actually, sorry, and then that's the fuel pump to the rear, which I have to wire a relay in. I don't remember where I left off last time, but I don't know, maybe in editing I'll figure out where I'm at. But yeah, it's pretty much, it's all, the loom's all in it and everything. I just have to, it's just the ground cable. Right now what I'm doing is, basically you have like, that's the fuel pump trigger from the ECU to the relay, and then you have like your ignition trigger, and then your fan triggers for your relays, and I believe one is AC, which we're not running AC. So anyways, I ended up mounting the ECU here, and then the fuse box has a bracket that goes there. So the way that it worked out is, the way FI Tech ended up making the loom, they kind of splice off like this, and I'm just making it, splice that way and splice that way, be a little bit tighter and cleaner. And yeah, I need to get these. This is obviously for the automatic transmission for the brake switch to unlock the lockup converter, and then one is TAC and one is Speedo. And I also have the dash controller cable, which I need to run. I'm gonna run through here, and then I don't know if you'll be able to see it, which you probably won't, but there's a hole in there which has a plate, which I'm gonna put a grommet and seal it all up and have the wires running through there. rather than drilling holes on the bulkhead over there. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. I'm gonna try to get this wiring finished, and once I get it finished, we'll start cranking it over and getting the oil pressure. Once we have oil pressure, you know, I'll put the coolant in it and power steering fluid and everything, and I don't know, hopefully it runs. Maybe not. And then once I can get this running, I literally have to do the exhaust, and I'm waiting for the air filter. I have the intake pipe done, but I'm waiting for the air filter. And yeah, need to make the exhaust, and that's pretty much it. And then this one's gone, and then we'll go back on the 69 Camaro. And yeah, whatever, I don't know, the other 100 jobs I have to do. Also, Purple Beauty's back. So the problem is that the top, you can't get anybody to do the top. So I don't know if anybody knows anybody in Ireland, that in Dublin, that can do a top, let me know. But basically he's been keeping it outside with a car cover over it. The car cover keeps blowing off, leaves getting inside, and it's getting wet. So we brought it back here to keep it dry and safe for the moment. That's what that's doing here. So I actually don't want to be looking at it right now, but no, I'm joking. I love that car. I'm joking. But actually, when the weather's nice, I'm gonna go drive it. Just don't tell Simon. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. Look, we'll get into the Buick and yeah, get this thing running. I'll just show you what we have now. I've been driving this car, and I love it. Like, you can drive it like, you know, normal, and if you want to, you know, stab it and, you know, feel it, you can just, you know, hit the throttle and she goes. Like, so it's a big car. You know, it's probably 4,000 pounds or something like that. So I mean, it doesn't I don't think it'll beat a Lamborghini, but it'll give you a run for your money. But it just has a mild cam in it, bearings, oil pump, new head gaskets. We put some spark plug wires on it. It has the Phytech system, just cold air intake. I put some shorty headers on it with you know, true dual exhaust. It's got some Flowmaster X's on it, which is a new exhaust that we just want to try. I actually like it because it's very mild when it runs, which I'll run it here for you so you can hear it. But when you know, rev it, it's like, what the hell is that? So yeah, I'll just show you the car now. So this is pretty much it done. I'll just show you. We have this here is it's called a speed box. So basically what it does is it works off of a satellite, and then it obviously has a motor inside which turns the speedo to tell you what mileage you're doing. Now I have the wheel diameter and the diff ratio in the Phytech system, and it's pretty close. This one kind of, I'd say by 5 miles an hour it kind of jumps around, but it's pretty close. So I tried to put, it's a very dramatic bend, I tried to put the least bend I could on it, but that's really the only place I could get it to fit. So, but that's the engine there, that's everything. I just made some nice plates and, you know, just tried to spice it up a little bit. Originally, if you look in it was silver, or obviously alloy, whatever you want to call it, and it was a bit boring, and he was like, can we not do something to it? So should I have an idea? He wanted sort of a stealthy thing, so that's why we went all black. That's the fuse and relay box, and mounted the Phytech ECU there, and that's pretty much it. Nothing fancy, just tried to make it, you know, sort of modified but original. So I wanted it to look like it belonged there, but it had some touches, you know, the plates, the intake, you know, things like that. Obviously it's painted black, and LSs don't come black, so, but it's just an LS1 swap 4060E and Phytech system, and that's really it. So it's pretty nice. Like, it's a cool car. I'll just show you the inside here. So that's just the inside. Just have the Vitek dash mounted there, and got the old oak steering wheel with all the oak trim. So it's like a surfer dude car. But that's what I kind of like about it. It's like a sleeper. You know, you drive around this thing and people are like, what the hell is that? And then you crank it up and give it some throttle, and then you understand it's sort of a sleeper. So we'll put it up now. I'll show you the fuel system, which was a disaster. When you look in the original footage, you actually notice I had like hose clamps and regular hose. I bought this kit that's supposed to be specifically for LS swapping your carbureted car. I'm not going to say no company names or anything like that, but it's an utter waste of money. So I ended up just doing my own thing. I put all AN fittings with a fuel pressure regulator, fuel filter, fuel pump, and everything. So, but again, you would have seen that in the previous video. So it was just a disaster. Don't ever, if they sell these kits that are like, oh, it works and you just bolt, no, it doesn't. It's a sales gimmick or something, or just, I don't know, eBay products put together to make something work. So that didn't work at all. That was just a waste of time and money. So yeah, I'll put it up now, and what we need to do now is the diff, which I'll explain to you in the room. I'll go over the fuel system and the exhaust system, and yeah, just hopefully get this thing out of here pretty soon. So it's kind of dark under here, but I'll try to show you guys everything. I don't know if you can see up in there. Yeah, you probably can't see, but anyways, I ended up making my own engine mounts. This is basically the same as a box Chevy or a Caprice Classic, but I couldn't find any engine mount kits, so I just used the ITC plates, and then I made my own brackets to go on the chassis there. I used an oil pan out of a, I think it's a 2002 Camaro, I believe so. I can't remember. But yeah, that's just the headers. They're shorty truck headers, and they seem to work perfect. I took a chance with them and they worked. So obviously it would be nice if I had long tube headers, but you know, that's the way things go. So so I made the exhaust. I was gonna put a H pipe in it, but it didn't really work out here. And I didn't want to put a long H pipe here because it just seemed silly. So, and besides, I think it'll be fine the way it is. So that's it there. They're just Flowmaster X's. I went up over the diff and came out the back. So just wanted to do something different. I think it's kind of cool, you know. So I don't know. I like it. So this is the fuel system. If you see, originally I had a Corvette fuel pressure filter regulator, and then with the kit they gave me this. This is like a 380 liter per hour pump. So what was happening was it would run, and then it would start making this noise like something's gonna blow up. When you put your hand on the regulator, it felt like it was gonna blow up, and it started to die down. I think that pump is too strong for that regulator, the Corvette regulator. So I ended up putting, this is just a filter, this is a fuel pressure regulator, just a Deutschwerks one, and I just returned it back to the tank here, which actually has a pipe that goes pointing towards the pickup here, and seems to be fine now. I've driven it, I've probably put, and I'll tell you the truth, I probably put like 300 miles on this car, and it's been fine. So, but now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the diff taken apart, get the ring and pinion in it, and the Detroit locker, the True Track, and yeah, hopefully the shorter gears will make a big difference. So let's get into it. All right, so the problem with the Buick is that it had the Buick 307 in it. See that lump up there? It had a 307 Buick engine in a 5 liter. So yeah, basically a boat anchor. So, and it had a 3-speed transmission. Obviously with a 3-speed transmission, it has very long gears in it. And when we put the LS in it with the 4L60, when you're going down the motorway doing 75 miles an hour, basically you're at like 1200 RPMs. It's bouncing in and out of overdrive. So we need to change the gears in the rear end. So I'll just show you what we got here. So we wanted to make it quicker, but obviously we don't want to make it a drag car because it has to be enjoyable. If he wants to drive it across the country, he can still drive it across the country. If he wants a little bit of speed, he can have speed. So I went with 342s, and then originally I was just going to do a traditional clutch posi, but these True Tracks, which are gear driven inside, I mean, they don't really wear unless you break them. And you don't have to put any friction additives in it, so which is a problem being in Europe because getting friction additives is just difficult. So I think it's like $90 more. So I just went with this one. Obviously, you know, you can go with the clutch pack one, but I fit one or two of these already, actually in Fords though. But actually I like them. So, and then I got the kit here. This is just all your carrier bearings and pinion bearings and seals and bolts and gasket, and then to check your pattern they give you a little brush and stuff like that. So anyways, we'll get the rear end of the Buick took apart now. I'll take everything out. I'll see what it measures up as. I'll try to get this one measured up and get it in the car, and yeah, hopefully we'll see it'll be a lot better. I kind of worked out with my calculations. It has a 27-inch total diameter rear wheel with the 4L60E and 342s, so it should be around 2300 RPMs in fourth gear. Yeah, should be fine. You know, that's what you'd want. Like that's what I would like it as. Anything more than that, you're obviously going to consume a lot more fuel. Anything lower than that is just kind of annoying if you ever driven something like that. So yeah, let's get into changing these gears now. Alright, so I got the diff out of it, took everything apart, and you can I just want to show you, that's the 270 pinion, and then that's the 342s, so you can just see, actually put them next to each other, let's just see the difference. So anyways, need to get the races, I need to get the races out of the case to replace them. I need to figure out what shim I have on the pinion as like a guide, and then yeah, get the bearings pressed onto the new pinion, get the new ring gear on the new diff in the room, and try to get all this shimmed up and see what the wear pattern's like. I hate diffs. See, this is why I hate diffs. There's just crap everywhere. It's just a mess. It drives me crazy. I hate it. Okay, so I got the diff in it. I got the 342s in it. I don't know if you can see there the wear pattern actually looks, I don't know if you can see it, actually looks pretty good. That's about what you want to see. So anyways, got it shimmed up after taking it apart 5,000 times and putting it back together and taking it apart and putting it back together, and yeah, I don't want to say it, but that's foul language. But anyways, so we'll get the axles back in it, get the wheels back on it, put some Earl in it, and yeah, clean up this mess and go drive it and see if she does wheelies. Hopefully she'll do some wheelies. I hope, anyways. Maybe not. Alright, well, got the diff done in the Buick, got it back on the ground. I'm gonna start it now. The weather's not great outside, but yeah, welcome to Ireland. So we'll take it for a test drive, see how it does with the new gears, and yeah. Yeah, I think it sounds nice. I don't know, like I said, I think it would have sounded better if I put an H pipe in it, but it is what it is. But she responds nice anyways. I think it sounds good. So anyways, we'll take this thing for a spin and yeah, see what she'll do. You have to admit though, it's not that bad of a looking car. Actually, it's kind of cool. I think with the LS swap and the wood trim, and people might look at it and go, oh, look at Grandpa. And then, you know, it moves. So it's kind of like a sleeper. But it's a good looking car, I think. 。 All right, so anyways, I've been driving this for a while. It's nice to drive, but with the new gears, I'm interested to see what it'll be like. I hope it moves a lot quicker. It is a big car, so it's a lot of weight to move, but yeah, no, I love this car. Like, it's actually really nice to drive. It's a big car, but it's nice to drive. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, she gets a little bit loose there, Jim. It's crazy because you drive it like normal. It's like grandpa. And then when you stab it, it just breaks loose. It just goes crazy. Like, so it's actually fun to drive. Try it here again. Hold on. All right. Jesus. Jesus. Huh. Yeah, it moves a little bit. It's not bad, actually. Jesus Christ. I love this thing. This thing's fun to drive. A little bit dangerous because it's wet outside, but impressive anyways. We'll get it back to the workshop before we get arrested and get a speeding ticket, and I break the car. And yeah, we'll call the customer and tell them it's done. And actually, one more time. Just one more dead launch. We'll do one more dead launch. Jesus. She scoots anyways. Jesus. Alright, yeah. I think we should get back to the workshop because I'm just going to get in trouble. So, I'll see you guys back there. Breaker 19, we got Smokey on the tail. Breaker 19. Alright, back at the workshop. I'm just going to check everything over, make sure it's okay, but sounds good to me. Anyways, that's a fun car. It's a big old car to be driving, but it's a fun one anyways. Alright, well that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And again, there's a lot more to come. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and catch you next time.